Welcome back and good morning, all my wonderful prepper community. Actually, let me take that back. Just good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching again. This is Kevin. And the reason why I wanted to change the intro is because maybe some of you watching aren't actually preparing. Maybe some of you are not prepared. Some of you think that prepping is crazy and ridiculous, and we are out of our minds for paying attention to what's going on in the news and trying to connect dots and trying to do all we can to just make sure that we are protected as best we can for what we don't know is coming. What we do know is coming is probably something not as good as we would like. However, what it is, what it will be, when it will occur, no one knows. But the beauty of it is, and I've said this before in other videos, and you guys are smart, you're very intelligent, and I'm sure that you can understand what I mean when I say this, and it's that if you prepare now, if you make preparation, if you stockpile the essentials, if you focus on your finances, if you pay attention and make educated decisions, non-irrational decisions, if you help and support those around you in the community, and nothing terribly bad happens, you are still better off than any other scenario, because you're going to have all these additional resources that you can then use for greater purposes than depletion. Because if you prepare, if you are prepared when SHTF occurs again and again and again, if you are prepared, the resources you have are going to be depleted. But if you're preparing and we don't get that next terrible news event tomorrow, we don't get the next pandemic, economy crushing news event, then everything that you've been working towards, you're going to be able to use to grow, and instead of depleting. And the financial component is a huge part of it, because I know in other channels on YouTube, there's other channels on YouTube that are preparing without necessarily using the words preparing or prepping or anything like that, but they are preparing for the change of the economy and the change of the housing market primarily to in the stock market, and possibly the cryptocurrency market, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not thrilled about that one. But they are preparing for the change so that when it occurs, they'll be in the best position possible to jump on it, dive right in, both feet, head first, and scoop up opportunities that will eventually, potentially earn them great returns on their investments. How are they going to be able to do that? They're going to be able to do it because they're prepared. If you are one of the people that I'm speaking about, and a month from now, the housing market were to go upside down, Jerome Powell's raising interest rates, home buyers are pulling back, in addition to your competition is changing because of the climate of the economy and inflation and their employment status and the possibility of them being unemployed, laid off, and not earning any income, or the income that they earn is continuously reduced due to the higher cost of food and fuel. Gasoline and diesel prices are at record highs. We talked about that yesterday. But if, let's say, a month from now, the housing market were to go upside down for whatever reason or a combination of reasons, and you wanted to jump in and scoop up a deal, but you weren't doing what you needed to do until then to make sure your credit is in order, to make sure your cash is in order for earnest money and escrow and down payments. Make sure that that you mentally are in a position to to do this, because buying real estate is not the easiest thing to do. It's a little bit of it's an emotional purchase, even if it's business, because, putting in an offer is emotional. Getting an offer accepted is emotional. Getting an offer rejected is even more emotional. And if anybody's gone through it, if you're not a cash buyer, dealing with an underwriter and getting a clear to close is very emotional. And then then you have to wait for the closing date, which you hope nothing goes wrong and you can actually close like you're supposed to, which here recently I've noticed that pretty much 24 hours before closing attorney is going to come to you with some craziness that, you have to bend over backwards to pull off. Otherwise, you're not going to close. It's crazy. I don't know how these coincidences continue to happen, but the real point I'm trying to make here is that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your status is. It doesn't matter what your level of prep is or will be or can be. You're all smart. You're all intelligent. That's why I'm here talking to you. That's why you're watching this video, is because you know that deep down inside. And regardless of what the information is that you want to extract from these videos, the underlying message is you want to be smarter. You want to be more educated. You want to have more knowledge. You want to have these conversations and discussions so that you can prepare better for whatever it is tomorrow. Doom, gloom, greatness, success, it doesn't matter. Preparing is preparing. Yes, I am slightly, a little bit, I don't know, I'm not gonna say I'm upset, but somebody got to me yesterday because I noticed in the comments, I didn't have a chance to see the comment when it came through because the original commenter eventually deleted it. But I could tell by the reaction of those in the comments. Number one, thank you all so much for addressing this commenter. And you addressed them in such a polite way to explain to them the errors in their ways and the reasons why they didn't need to be so nasty and disgusting. But honestly, I don't even know what she said, but I feel as though it was a very rude comment that was unnecessary, directed towards me for the video that I had made yesterday and put up. And I don't know why, but I have an idea and a few theories behind this. And I think it comes down to fear. I'm not here to promote fear. I'm not here to cause panic. I'm not here to create crisis and chaos. I don't need to do that. Like, it's done every single day. And even those who are in possibly the best situation possible to handle what could come are probably still a little scared because they don't know what's coming, when it's coming, or anything. All you can do is try to get best prepared for what you don't know is going to happen. But I think the fear component is also another reason why people don't prepare. It's because they're trying to pretend like these problems don't exist. These problems can't exist. These problems won't exist. And that's a great idea. A little naive though, because problems have existed. History repeats itself. That's our greatest indicator of what's to come tomorrow, is because of what happened yesterday. And when you get into this situation of this fear, then sometimes you want to lash out against others who are trying to help people mitigate the fear and kind of like take their mind off the fear and not so much focus about the wall that they're about to hit. If you've ever driven a vehicle or motorcycle or any motorized transportation method, and you were in an uncontrollable situation, and this is what I mean when I say hit the wall. If you're ever in an uncontrollable situation, whether you've pushed the vehicle too far and you've lost control, whether, through hydroplaning or a flat tire or something, that's just you've lost control of this vehicle and there's a wall. There's a wall. You're headed towards the wall. You're out of control. Well, if you focus on that wall, guess what? You're going to hit it. You're going to hit it. We as human beings have a tendency to connect with what we're focused on. So if we're focused on all the negative, guess what we're going to get? Okay. Now, the negatives exist. The fears exist. Let's focus on the positives. Let's focus on the ways that we can prepare ourselves to not hit those walls. Let's do that. But in order to do that, we have to know that the walls exist. We have to know that those problems are out there so that we can avoid them and focus on what solutions are available to us or could possibly be available to us in the future, so as to not hit the wall and make it to the other side. So I think that those who choose to enter into these videos, who are not forced to watch these videos, you choose to click on these videos and then proceed to deliver negative, hateful, unhelpful, unnecessary comments below. Number one, if I see them, I'm going to get rid of them. I got a lot of filters on these comments to try to help keep those at bay. I don't want you guys to have to fill your minds with this unnecessary negativity. But if it does get past the filter and I see it, they're out of here. But we don't need that. We don't need that. If you're not pleased with the videos that I make, if you're not happy that we're trying to collectively as a community, as a family, use our knowledge and our intelligence to better prepare ourselves for tomorrow, for SHTF that we don't know is coming, for the food shortages that we've already seen, for the fuel crisis, for the high gas prices, high diesel prices, possible diesel shortages, foreign attacks, Riverside Homestead Living. I was watching his video this morning, and he's talking about there's so much land owned in the United States. Now, this was kind of stemmed from the Smithfield Foods pork plant closing in California, Chinese-based, Hong Kong owned. He was saying that there's so much land in the United States owned by foreign entities and foreign countries. It's unreal, and some of which we're not even capable of knowing they own it. Patrick Humphrey, he had mentioned how much farmland Bill Gates owns in the United States, and he's not a farmer. It's kind of like a little bit concerning. But the point is, if you don't like the videos that we make, if you don't like the videos that I make, you don't have to watch them, okay? If you come across one, you don't like it, leave a thumbs down. That's fine, but you don't need to try to bring everyone else down. You don't need to personally attack me. I didn't force you to watch it. It doesn't really cost you anything to watch it. And, besides a few seconds. And according to the YouTube analytics, most people aren't sticking around past 30 seconds anyway. So move on, perhaps make your own channel and spread your own message that you feel is so important, and maybe people will watch it. But besides that, just let us do what we do. Let me continue to try to help as many people as possible who are willing to listen and evaluate and, hear both sides of the story here and make their own assessment and judgment calls on what they want to do to evaluate their preparedness or increase their preparedness, or even just start. Because a lot of people watching, thank you guys for emailing me. Keep the emails coming. I'm going to try to respond to them as quickly as I can. But a lot of people are emailing asking, how do I start? I don't have money. I don't have savings. I'm a single parent. I live in an apartment. What do I do? I'm not the greatest prepper ever. And I hate to break it to you, there's no greatest prepper, because no matter how much you have, you don't know how well it is going to perform. You don't know how effective it is going to be. You don't know what your personal situation is going to be like when SHTF to say you are the greatest. This is not a competition. This is survival, okay? And for those who want to have these conversations and evaluations and just talk about things about, all right, well, preparing is not just about how much food you have in your pantry. It's not just about how many chickens you have in your coop. It's not just about how many jars you've canned of whatever, how much you dehydrated that day. It's not just about the few seconds or minutes of videos that are uploaded on YouTube, which you try to use to paint a picture of my entire life that you think you know about. Even if that were the case, how is it helping you become better prepared by trying to bring me down? It doesn't, okay? But what will help is just talking. Hey, where you at? What are you seeing? What should I do? I did this. What do you think about that? Okay, well, I did this and this is what I saw. Oh, okay, great. I didn't know you did that. This is going to be very helpful to us all if we're going about it the right way. If we're going about it the smart and intelligent way. I'm talking to you, smart and intelligent. The smart and intelligent people, regardless of the situation you're in, regardless of the abilities that you think you may have or may not have, I'm talking to you because you are the ones who are here for what greatness you are capable of that you don't even know yet. And I want you to figure that out. I want you to extract that. I want you to use it in a way where you say months, years from now, when SHTF, when it really hits the fan, and you're like, man, I'm ready. I can do this. And think back and be like, you know what? I remember there was a time when I thought I couldn't. And through having these communications, having these thought-provoking videos running through my mind, having the ability to comment with other people and see what they're doing, having this community and this family has really helped me get to a point in which I feel as though I can survive this. When a short while ago, I didn't think I would ever make it. I didn't think I could even start. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's not about evaluating what you think my prep is. It's not about looking at my safe in the corner. It's not about any of that, okay? It's about being smart, being educated, and just working together to get through this, because it's going to be a struggle, period. No matter what, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be more of a struggle than Joe Biden trying to get off his bicycle. It's just going to be a struggle. And we don't need to be standing around like the rest of the world and the news reporters pointing fingers and laughing as you fall off your bike. We don't need that. We need to be supporting you and showing you ways how you don't fall off your bike.